Underutilization of assets. Well, that's a huge problem when you look at transportation and you see empty buses go by. Emmanuele, it seems like you guys have a really good solution for that, a solution that's just starting. Why don't you show us what's in your hand and tell us what prompted what you're holding?
So this is a modular bus. We're trying to disrupt a technology, an industry, which is the bus industry, which has been with no major change in the last 100 years. So we're trying to do that by modularizing a vehicle, a bus. So this is the full-scale vehicle, and these are some models. I'll try to explain using those models. So these two vehicles are completely independent. They can pick up people around, and they can act and move like a regular car or small buses. But the magic here is that these two vehicles can be coupled together, and they can share the internal space. So what happens is that there are two doors, one in the front and one in the back, that's going to open, and they will let people or goods to be moved around the vehicle. So in that case, we can decide how to scale up or down the length of a vehicle. So there is, as you said, there is a huge underutilization of the vehicle. For example, the buses, they have average usage of 30-35% maximum, which is more than 100% in peak time, like 6-7 in the morning, and a very low usage at, like, say 10-11 a.m. when you have 5% usage. In this case, you can scale up or down the length of the vehicle, so you can have a longer vehicle when you need to move a large number of people, or you can have a single or two module when you just need to move few people. So it's about completely changing how we see the transportation now, which is a most of the time underutilized system. And in this case, we want to improve the usage of the vehicle and the traffic footprint, because one of these vehicles can remove from 7 to 10 cars from a street.
That's amazing. I want to talk a little bit about the technology, but before that, I want to talk a little bit about the cost, because I think that is a real big driver of this, the savings by being much more efficient. What are we looking at in terms of the cost of a module and versus, say, the traditional bus?
So a traditional bus is very expensive. That's why buses are usually bought by municipality or large group that creates this bus fleet. By scaling down the length of a bus, we are scaling down the price of a bus. Our target is to sell this module at around $35,000 to $40,000 each, and we can have the same length of a bus with 6 modules. We are changing how people are looking into the transportation world, mass transportation world, because now scaling down the price, everyone can be part of this market. So instead of having a car, so an asset that you buy and you pay for and you just let sitting in your driver, you actually having a part of a transportation system that you can use it when you need it, or you can just let it go when you don't need it anymore. So it's a game changer also for tax money.
Well, and it sounds like there's an opportunity too for private entities to perhaps run these as well.
Exactly. I'm talking about single owner, like normal people that can decide to own one module. And the module, especially when equipped with a self-driving technology, can actually make money for the owner. So we know that municipalities are losing money in this market. We have been contacted from a small town in the middle of Germany. They own few very expensive buses, and they lose €500,000 each year only to maintain these buses. With our solution, they are actually making $500,000 each year instead of losing $500,000. And also they are not producing 1 million ton CO2 each year.
Well, and I want to talk a little bit about that, the technologies that have come together to make this possible, whereas, 5-10 years ago, this probably wouldn't have been possible. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the technology in this?
So we are using off-the-shelf technology. This means that everything that we are using for this prototype and will be using for the next prototype that will be unveiled next year, is available. So we are not reinventing the wheel. We are using existing technology to improve a system. It's a completely electric vehicle. We can have in-hub motor, or we can have onboard motor. The battery needs to have 100 miles range, and each module is independent. So you don't have, like a bus, a huge motor in the back, but each module has its own motor and battery pack. So talking about range, the range is hyper-extended when you have the module connected together. So you are improving the usage rates of the vehicle, and you are improving how long they can go, how long they can move.
Well, and I imagine, too, a big element to this is the software aspect of it, and the fact that you've got all these separate modules that somehow have to come together and act as one at the same time.
Yes, there are some technology problems that we are solving, but we are focusing on what we need for this vehicle to be effective. For instance, this vehicle, they have 4 steering wheels, and we need to know and control each wheel of the module and the convoy when these vehicles are connected together. Because especially when you're doing a curve, each wheel will have to turn at a different radius. So we need to control and to get all the data from the wheel. Same thing goes for the batteries. So each module can have a different range from the battery, because this has been used more or less than another vehicle in the same convoy. So we need to know all this number, and we need to put them together to control the whole vehicle. Also, the door needs to be controlled. Later on, we'll have to control any given passenger in the vehicle, so we can move them in different module, because when we have a full self-driving environment, we can decide to split off this vehicle even in movement. So, for example, the passenger going eastbound, are going onto the module number 2, or the passenger going northbound on the module number 1. So all these passengers will be redistributed inside the vehicle, and they will detach, the module will detach, and they will reach their final destination.
Well, that seems appropriate. You truly are bringing packets here to Silicon Valley, packets of people.
Instead of packets of data, it's packets of people. So we did some calculation for the Bay Area, putting together a fleet of vehicles, taking people around Mountain View, San Jose, and commuting them to San Francisco. Using a technology with this, we can have 85% less traffic on the road. 85%.
That's phenomenal. And you were talking about eventually it'll be highway speeds, but around town speeds, even with what we're looking at here, right?
So it's city buses speed, more or less. So these are prototypes. So at the beginning, we're going in a very, very low speed, especially to do all the connecting, disconnecting operation. But at the end, we would like to eventually replace cars.
And because you're building it from scratch, there's a lot of unique things. One of the things, it seems very tall, which it is, but it's not top heavy because of the base, you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. These vehicles are built in the same way that buses are built. So there is a platform at the bottom, which keeps all the mechanics of the vehicle, battery, control, motor. And then on the top of this platform, you have the seats and the overall cabin. So the whole weight is very, very low on the road. So the barycentric effect is very, very low. They're very tall, but they are not taller than a regular bus.
And the interior of it, as you kind of alluded to, can be customized for the demand. So it might not only be a passenger vehicle, I guess it could be a Starbucks vehicle or something, right?
This is a room on a wheel. So you have an empty room, you can decorate, you can customize it, whatever you want. Since this project is for a mass transportation project, you definitely need to put seats in there, so you can put the seats in the same way as they are in tram, metro, or buses. Or you can decide to have an office. You can decide to have a Starbucks in there. This is like a Pandora's box. When you have a full self-driving environment, you can definitely bring services to the people. Think about Starbucks. They have these bars everywhere in the city, in each corner. How much a Starbucks costs? Like a few $1 million. What about if Starbucks decides to only have this kind of vehicle that can physically connect at the end of the convoy and deliver the product right away when people are commuting? It's a game changer.
Yeah, instead of drive through, it's drive with, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you've had some commercial success already in terms of moving the project to the next level. Can you talk to some of that?
We just came back from an experience in the Middle East, in UAE, in Dubai. We were part of this accelerator funded by the government of Dubai. And we will start a pilot project next year in Dubai. So basically now you see the prototype here, but the whole technology group is now working in northern Italy to deliver and bring this product later on this year and start doing the test in the UAE. So we expect to have orders of a small fleet of vehicle in the next year. So I think we can be absolutely profitable and with the fleet going around by 2020.
And ultimately, you were also looking at a licensing model for this as well?
Yeah, we are an innovation company, design innovation company, so we can take care of the first batch of vehicle. But if we have success, we'll have to license the construction of this module to everyone that want to build them. So I'm thinking about developing area where we can maybe send vehicle that can be assembled in those areas. So instead of shipping a full bus in the other part of the world, we can send a few 20-feet container with all the parts needed to build this vehicle in those areas. This vehicle can be assembled and disassembled in a few hours.
Excellent. Well, it looks like there's a lot of promise to this, and I wish you luck as you move this to production.
Thank you. Thank you.